So let's search my Twitch. I am live. Loaded. Should show which game I'm playing finally. So I think I figured Twitch out a little bit better now. And today I'll just be kind of doing a single tower defense thing here, just to kind of show my one friend what it is. He doesn't play Genshin, so he doesn't know about the theater mechanics event or anything going on right here. I am currently trying to get all my towers up. So I will level up this one because I use this one a lot. I'm mostly leveling these up to complete the challenges at this point. That's all I'm doing it for, is the points. I've cleared every stage. The last one was pretty hard. Took quite a bit of effort to get through. And we still need a couple more runs to get the mine up, because that's the only one, and this one up. These other ones cap out at level 3 and level 1, so get the rewards, which are these things. You need to get so many of them up to a certain level, and then you use those to unlock all your shit from the Zhao market here. So, without further ado, let's hop right into one of these. You just talk to this nice little lady here. She has a little map on the table, so maybe you're just in reality sitting down at a table playing kind of like a D&D type deal, but you know, it makes us feel like we're playing this. So this is second highest difficulty. The highest one is this one, but that takes literally like 20 minutes, half an hour sometimes to get through that. So we're just going to be getting through this. The best person is the Traveler for this, and then I believe Ning Wong is okay. Traveler though just can't be beat because of her E ability. Earth's Geo Traveler, of course, she can change her elements as you go through the story. She's the only character that can switch between a couple. And I'm not playing with my friend today, I'm just playing by myself. Let's see if everything's going good on my Twitch. It should be going just fine. So you have a little bit of time initially to start building your towers up. The first tower I'm going to construct is going to be a buffing tower. It's going to buff every one of my other towers. That's this Arcanum. Then I'm going to put the Inferno up, which is a fire tower. It does a ton of damage. Then I'm going to put an electrical and another electrical. They hit pretty fast, and they hit those fast moving ones a lot more accurately than these ones do. These ones tend to lob big giant grenades at them, and they hurt a lot, but the fast moving units can outrun them. So they're not exactly the best to use for that. Actually, what I should do is open up my Twitch here and switch to multi-stream so I can actually see anybody who enters the chat. Working well? Okay, good. I'll keep that open just in case, and I'll open up Steam just in case that's what you want to talk to me on. Okay. Those fast little turds sometimes get past you on the early stages and hurt your score. The best thing you can do is hit them with your character to slow them down. And this E ability is the reason the Geo Traveler is the best. She throws up the giant little boulder. Ning Wong is also not bad because she throws up a wall that slows enemies a little bit, not much. If you're doing it solo, I would recommend bringing an ice and a fire character with you. Nope. One got through. You can get a limit of 20 to get through. And that's the problem with those guys, they move super little fast for little guys. Sometimes they get just right through the little corner, just squeeze through the side of that. But as we build up points, as you see on the left side of the screen there's this little hammer symbol, and it's going up every time an enemy is killed. That's your construction points, so you can use that to construct more little towers. And of course, you want more towers because they definitely help you get through these stages. But you want to be careful not to use all your points up. By an end of a stage, you really want to have about 300 points saved, just in case. You'll see here just in a little bit, there's only 5 enemies left. Kind of slower though. But once you get through a stage, you move on to the next part of it, and it unlocks a bunch of perks you can get, and they're random each time, so each playthrough of this is going to be different. And they buff your tower or give you a little bonus for yourself, or even make it harder if you want to get bonus something or other, right? Because you can get bonus points at the end to upgrade your towers further by doing these challenges. As you see, this is a level 10 tower. They all started at level 1, and each time you clear one of these stages, you get points towards building up whatever one you choose to. I went Fire Lightning at first, and see, here are some of the bonuses we get. In the next wave, they get more health, but you'd get more construction points basically at the end. Let's see here. Hydro. None of the towers I'm using. Almost tempted to do that, but I don't really need it. You only have a couple seconds to make your decision here. None of these really matter to me right now, so we'll go with that one. Yeah, took too long to click on it. But none of these ones were really good. If they're fire or electric, I'm pretty happy with them, but those ones were whatever. So we'll throw this one down here. And we'll go over here. We'll throw up another tower over here. And then we'll hit P to just quick start this wave, because we don't want to wait that whole minute. Normally I found when you get this map, and sometimes it's a different map, you get all the quick little runners down here. So it's good to kind of build your wall up. But not all of them. And Geo Traveler has a very fast, hold attack that knocks enemies back. So that's another reason I kind of like her. I don't even really like Diluc for too much, but he does break shields pretty good. And his E is just these 3 attacks together. They're pretty big and pretty fast. But he can also knock enemies back too if he manages to hit them. But his swings are slower than this, right? So sometimes you'll swing at an enemy and miss. Charge up on that's not the fastest either, but normally you'll hit them with that, kind of stop them for a second. That's a little bit slower. But still, you can hold your button and then he just starts mashing. But this has been the funnest part of the event so far. Like, there was soul-crushingly bored, or like boredom-inducing fucking fetch quests where, no joke, you would literally fetch items for people who were named Dummy. And you would have to then hand him the ingredients to create a lantern. You would then make him a lantern. You would then have to run 2,000 meters somewhere else to go talk to somebody, to invite them to a party, to literally then go run all the way back to talk to him, for him to say, oh, can you hang this lantern for me? I don't know how. So then you would have to run, hang a lantern, and then you think you would be done, but it would make you go and run off and talk to 5 other people just because that's what they decided was the best way to celebrate the lantern rite, is literally make you go run all the way across all of Leeway and hang every single goddamn lantern yourself. Like, I swear I hung probably about 12 lanterns for side quests. And it's like, you construct them, you make them, you bring them to these people, and then they're like, hey, Traveler, also go hang them up for us too. Like, your job's not done yet. So I am very glad that I did push through, get them all, because honestly you got a lot of rewards for it. But it was just painful. We're gonna put another one of these tower boosters down here. Throw up another electric tower. Another fire tower. So the water and ice towers, they are good too. I prefer to go with a method where I just overpower the enemies and blow them to pieces before they can go further. However, you can get decent... I'm not getting any buffs for these fire towers though, so... Maybe I should have went with some ice towers, but that's fine. I could do this one. Get extra sigils at the end of it. Get 25% less Ventigious points. Those are basically your construction points. As you see, I already have like 400 something. I'm not in desperate need of them. I'm not too worried about it. Hit P, continue on through this. And of course, as you get through the waves, some of the waves are a lot harder than others. This is one of the harder ones. And I don't have the same buffs I did last time, so we're counting on Geo Traveler here to create those roadblocks. Because those fucking things, they motor. They don't stop. The Geo Traveler can block paths. Even those things can just move right through. The fire guys, they're not the fastest. Come on. Yeah, we'll put that up there. So the towers at least are doing their jobs. They're killing them before they get to us. And that's because of the buffing tower in the center does give them a nice little damage bonus. And then electric reacts with fire to cause an elemental reaction. As anybody who plays this game knows, is probably the strongest damage boosting elemental reaction. Water and ice, of course, freeze enemies in their place. Ice and electric has like a little bit of a damage boost. Water and fire has a vaporize? Yeah, vaporize. I was gonna say evaporize, but then that just didn't sound right in my head, so... Vaporize is what that reaction is, and it also gives a small damage boost, but the electric and pyro damage boost, like, reaction is definitely the strongest one out of all of them. 5 enemies, probably just dumb little guys. So that's a cryo mage over here. Little slimes. So let's fire it. So this is the one thing the characters can do, is they can break shields. They can't damage the enemies at all. I do no damage when I hit them. As you see, no damage numbers of gray are popping up. However, I can help stun them, and I can knock any shields off they have of them. But it doesn't help knocking them away from the towers. They'll walk to their deaths. Ganyu is my most used character in this game. Her damage is just crazy, and her bow is more like a shotgun. When it hits, it just explodes everywhere. Her E isn't so useful, it just throws a flower that normally taunts enemies. However, on this, it does not taunt any enemy. You just have a Ganyu who does a really big amount of damage. Now these fickle effects here, I'll take this one because I like it, but I'll also explain the fickle effects cannot be viewed once you select. There are always a negative effect attached to these, but the effect they give you is always really kick-ass. So 10 meters more on my range for all my electric things. I will take it, but my movement speed is down 20%. That's not so bad. There are some effects that are like, say, if one enemy gets through, you lose. Instead of your 1 out of 20, now if you get any enemy through that, you're just done. Game over. So those fickle ones can bite you in the ass. Normally around the end of the stage, I would suggest just not. Not even thinking about it. So I do have the Viridescent Bow on Ganyu, which will also sometimes sprout a small whirlwind, and it will pull enemies towards it. And it normally happens just on her regular attacks. On her charged attacks, it'll kick off too every now and then. Oh, hello. He kind of spooked me there. I thought he was going to get past me. But I guess these backline towers are doing pretty good. As you see there, there's a small whirlwind going on. That was from Ganyu's just bow. Because every weapon has a special ability too. I'll just hop into my character menu here. They aren't getting past me. So this is the Viridescent Wind. On normal hits, 50% chance to get a small whirlwind for 60% of my attack. And all weapons have something special, like Diluc's Wealth Gravestone. It increases his base attack by 20%. That's just permanently on, and then when he hits an enemy that's super low, it increases everybody's attack by 40%. I don't think I have anything good on Traveler. I think just like a chord or the flute or something. This book is a good one, but doesn't have any special effects that help on the map. The Viridescent Bow, if you do have an archer, that is very useful on them for this stage, because it does help pull all the little enemies together. And that will actually stop them from being able to run forward, because it will pull them back. And it sometimes procs off, you know, just from that. And of course, Ganyu and Diluc are both 5-star characters, and even your Traveler is a 5-star character. Sometimes people forget that, but she is a 5-star character that you're given at the start of the game. And I think she's going to get some. So, see, I could take this one. Since I'm almost at the end of the stage, I'm going to just say screw that. And I'll just take this one here that gives my electric little guys extra 10% attack speed. Because, yeah, we don't want that to be something really stupid, like all your Electro Towers can't attack for a round, or all your Pyro Towers can't do anything for a round, and then we have Electro enemies coming at us. They have done things like that. I mean, I could quickly change my towers around, but this is a good setup. I do like it, how it's working, and I'll be able to clear this in probably just a little bit more time. I think this is going to be an easier wave. I think it's just a bunch of these dumb big guys. Okay, never mind, there's also those guys. Let's put that there. Yeah, they're not even making it through the towers now. There we go, a little whirlwind. I don't have to worry about them at all. So as long as you set your towers up and you use a little bit of strategy, the hardest stages are probably around the beginning, and then those flying giant enemies are the worst, because they just fly over any obstacles your Traveler will throw in the way, and they just move super fast. But I guess you get the idea of what this tower defense thing is. There's also other towers here. There's all the water ones here, ice ones. The wind ones here I've never actually used, so let's just reconstruct that and see how that works. Show me your magic, wind tower. Maybe it just does damage as they're around it? I don't actually know what it does. Looks like it's doing something. Cryo. In fact, if I went cryo, I would have had a ton of extra damage. But I didn't. So we'll just take the more difficult one here. That would be a pretty good one to take too. 25% more attack speed. I guess that just does area of effect or something. This one I've also never tried either. It's kind of an arrow shooting one. Supposed to do a good chunk of damage. But we'll just see how it works here. This side should be fine. See what's coming. That's a portal down there. Ooh, big giant guys. Good range on it. 700 damage. Wow. That's pitiful. That's definitely no reaction ability. Reconstruct. Switch you back to a fire. As you see, when the fire hits, it hits hard. Okay. Crap. Need to be a little bit more careful and watch the big guys. They have a ton of hit points, so they can just kind of power through a little bit there. The other ones aren't so bad. Those guys get taken down pretty easy. I've had 2 enemies escape. Not too bad. I'm mostly just farming for the points. Once I had the one little enemy, it doesn't really matter if a couple get through. Now what we can do for these big guys though is just position Geo Traveler's ability nicely and lift them up. They still eventually walk over it, but it does, as you see, leg them out a bit, I guess. Slow them down. Sometimes. Sometimes you head underneath them and then they just don't even stop, they just keep going. Sometimes you throw her little thing down and it doesn't build anything. Three enemies left. Okay, that's probably just 3 little enemies? Yeah, there's one. And that's, well, almost second. Yeah, that's the second most difficult one you can do. The most difficult one takes a lot longer to do, so I'm not going to be doing it. Man, that one took 20 minutes there. And the other one takes even longer to do, so yeah, we're not going to be doing that one. You get the basic idea. I got 1,000 points. I don't know how many more I needed. Pretty close to getting most of those challenges. I only need a couple more to unlock everything I'm looking for. I kind of put this all off to around the last day too, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing so many of them today. I've done this like 4 or 5 times already. Completed the hardest difficulty, so hit F5, pop into our menu here, theater mechanics. Clear a stage at difficulty 7, theater mechanics while defeating all enemies, okay. Without building 12 or more. Oh, I could have done that one earlier. But I don't need it too bad. So 8, 8, 8. Level you up to 8. Confirm. Level you up to 8. And as you see, all these towers, there's a bunch of different ones, so you can change your strategy up. You can lay little landmines that will self-destruct. They don't cost much to make, but they do a ton of damage. But this is why I normally pick the fire one. It does a lot of damage. The next highest is probably like electric. Then the ice and water are pretty decent. These really, they're better because they stop enemies, they lower their speed. They sometimes pick them up in a bubble and hold them in place, so they're kind of more CC and control. But because they hold them in place while they smack them, they'll end up doing about the same amount of damage, maybe a little less. But those super fast moving enemies, these things can help you stop them. I find the electric ones work pretty decent for that. I think I got those all leveled up to 8. I don't think I'll go for 9. I think this 900 points here will be enough to get... Oh, not armory. Back out. Zhao Market. The market closes in 7 days, but this other stuff is done, so I wanted to get these books which help upgrade all your character's talents and abilities, which is just as important as having good equipment and gear. These books are just as important. And there was a lot of them here, and I am just a little bit off. Son of a bitch. I can do another challenge. What challenge can I do? Actually, I don't need those last 6 books. Ugh. Got everything else here that I really wanted. Pretty much. Prosperity books. I own 31 of them, so I'm obviously not using a character that uses them. So, I guess I can pass on those ones. I don't need them. It'd just be kind of nice to have everything I wanted out of that. But theater mechanics is 17 minutes. Oh, never mind. There's a lot less time there. Yeah, so that's good to know that it does show it properly now. Glad to hear that. Yeah, I did select it in the... Before I went live, it let me choose which game I was picking. So I totally just, you know, typed in Genshin Impact, had a little picture of it, so I assumed that was the right one. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to see about this game. You've kind of started it. This fucking lantern event thing, like... This is what the lantern rite was all about. You need to get 2,000 of these points from doing these quests, and then you could get a free... Now, of course, you won't let me show it to him. Can't click on it. But it let you basically get a free 4-star character out of like a pool of 5 of them. They were all from Leeway here. But to get that, I had to do all of these dumbass quests, and I just hated it. I hated every minute of it. I tried to convince myself that it was good. You're getting 30 Primo Gems per one, but I hated it. I really did. It was not fun. I did not enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed the main story one, the All That Glitters. I didn't mind that one. That one wasn't bad. It had main characters, it had story stuff, it had involvement, and it wasn't just dumbass, here, go hang my lantern and go talk to 10 people and walk 5 feet to talk to this other person, because obviously I can't walk 5 feet to talk to somebody who's right beside me, right? Like, I'm pretty sure most of the community agrees with me on that one, that these Lantern Rite tales were not as well developed as we thought they were going to be. There was enough content, yes. There was a lot of content. The quality of it, though, however, was very, very lacking in engagement and in its fun and storytelling. Like, it lacked a lot there from that. You got some Primo Gems. Yeah, that's true. Like, so that's another probably reason why I'm just so fucking tired of doing that kind of shit. Is because I do that all the time. In like fucking War of the Visions, I do that so often that I just don't want more of it in another gacha game. But the problem here with Genshin is there's a big difference between the two. War of the Visions gives you tons of free shit. In Genshin, your dailies that they give you like a fourth of a summon for 1 point. Like, you get like 40 Primo Gems or some shit, 50 Primo Gems? I'm not sure, I can't remember. It's a stupidly small amount, and if you're not using any of the paid content, it takes you 4 days to get 1 pull, which is like absolutely nothing. So they don't give you a lot. The events are the only way you really get the Primo Gems, but even then, it takes forever to build them up. Like, even this isn't very many wishes, but I'm far into the pity on the banner. So, in 2 days' time, when Hu Tao comes out, I'll get her. Luckily, I got this spear on my first 10 pull. Like, look at this history here. I couldn't fucking believe it. Like, I made the video and I was like, okay, I'm gonna hate life. This is gonna be another one of those things where I sink all my, like, Primo Gems into it, not get anything. First 10 pull ever on this banner, I got the Staff of Homa right away. And I know people who have put $2 grand into it. Like, there are streamers who have done that. And it's just painful to know. Because the weapon banner, there is no guarantee you're going to get this. There's a guarantee at 90 pulls you will get a legendary. There's a guarantee that it might be one of these two after a certain point. Like, your first 90, it could be any 5-star legendary. Your second 90, so 180 pulls, there's a 50 chance you're going to get what you want, a 50 chance you're not going to get what you want. So, yeah, $2 grand in dollars. Not, I don't, like, there are people who have sunk everything to try to get the staff, and it's because they don't have a guaranteed thing for this weapon banner. And normally they're really good with their character banners. I want to say they are. Even though it's hard as shit to get the Primo Gems, I have had War of the Visions where I've sunk everything into a pull and I haven't got the character because there's no 100% guarantee. This at least has a 100% guarantee on at least your second 90 pull. You'll get that character you're wanting. You'll get the one you need. You'll have that character. Their weapon banner does not have that same guarantee. And what I think they should do is on your second 90, they should give you a goddamn choice between if you want the Wolf's Gravestone, which you have like maybe 9 of already if you're a super whale, and you've put like $2,000 into this, or the Staff of Homa if you put $2,000 into the game and you fucking just want your Staff of Homa. Like, give the guy his like staff, come on. And this weapon is like a game changer, and that's why so many people are pulling on it. It's fucking ridiculously like broken compared to almost every other weapon. It's either something you get or not, and it changes your game. I wasn't going to pull on the next character who is a spear user unless I got this weapon. That's how big of a change this weapon makes for the character. And like coming up, I'll be able to get them because I have that pity, but still, it's only a C1. If you want max refinement, like, I don't even want to know how much money you would have to put in to pull on this to get 5 more copies of it to refine it fully. Like, fuck my life. I would never... Like, if I had that kind of money, I probably would burn it on this because, like, I would be fucking a billionaire. Like, you'd probably have to spend, like, 20 grand or some horse shit to reliably get a +5 Staff of Homa. But I'm sure there's people who have had great luck. I mean, if I got like 5 Staffs of Homa back to back to back, I'd be pretty fucking happy with my life right there. And I doubt that would ever happen. I never thought I'd get like a first 10 pull getting a legendary either. It's just crazy. So there are like pluses and minuses to the rates in I think all gacha games. The weapon banners on this one, they're broken as shit and they need to be fixed. Like, they need to do something about that. That's not right. But the character banners, I think they have the right mindset of it. Like, it's decent, like, that you can guarantee you'll get it after a certain amount. War of the Visions has kind of went in that path, so you can kind of do that, but holy fuck, you need to put a lot into it. And I guess you need to put, hey, a random quest, a bunch into this game to actually get the guaranteed too. Yeah, these little dumbass side quests I don't pay too much attention to. Probably because I have spent a lot of time going through this game and doing all the story quests and all the side quests and paying attention to them. But then I did like 20 or 30 of these leeway quests back to back to back, and I don't have it in me to sit there and read through this at the moment and just do anything. Actually, I think I'll level up some of my characters. What I need to do is level up my Traveler, because that's the only character that can actually change jobs, and I feel like they're gonna make her better as the game progresses and goes along. They're gonna make her into a more like 5-star type worthy character. I think with her lightning attribute that we're gonna see eventually here, we're gonna probably see a lot of cool changes with her. That's just my guesswork though. I'm not 100% certain on that at all. But the thing is, each time you change your character, like, to a different one, her talents reset, right? So if you're pumping a bunch of books into her on the lower level ones that don't really want, probably not the best idea. Talent books cost so much. I definitely need to level up my Diluc here. Need more guides to resistances, but he needs guides to resistance. I think Child? No, Child doesn't. She does, I believe. I have like 4 or 5 characters that I use that use the same material book, and you can get like 1 or 2 of them sometimes in a dungeon. And that, you can do 3 dungeon runs a day and you're basically out of resin. So I can't build them up fast enough because I keep using them. But I'm going to call that there, guys. Thanks for watching and tuning in. And hopefully you saw a couple extra things about Genshin you didn't know before, and if you haven't seen that Lantern Rite event because you just couldn't make it there, I'll post this up on YouTube later just cuz, and then people can see it. So see you guys later.